A mare from Bairnsdale has pulled off a pregnancy quinella, giving birth to healthy twin foals, an extremely rare equine event.
You won't believe what happens when animals give birth. It's more shocking than you can imagine. Nature has a way of surprising us, especially when it comes to how animals bring new life into the world.
Finally tonight, the most public of entrances, more than 1 million people watching as April the giraffe gives birth.
Some births are so bizarre and mind-blowing that they'll leave you speechless. From strange creatures to unbelievable moments, these jaw-dropping scenes show just how wild and unpredictable the animal kingdom can be. Get ready, because these shocking animal births will blow your mind and leave you questioning what's possible in nature. Number 21. Mysterious snake births. Snakes have a wide variety of reproductive methods, and their birthing processes are as mysterious as the creatures themselves. Some species of snakes lay eggs, while others give birth to live young. And each method comes with its own set of fascinating features. For egg-laying snakes, the gestation period typically ranges from 30 to 90 days, depending on the species. After the female lays her eggs, she may leave them to incubate on their own, or she may stay with them, keeping them warm until they hatch. The hatchlings emerge fully formed and ready to begin their independent lives. On the other hand, viviparous snakes give birth to live young, with the gestation period more similar to mammals, lasting between 3 to 6 months. The young snakes are born fully developed, but unlike egg layers, they rely on their mother for a little while to learn survival skills before venturing out on their own. This process is a testament to the adaptability of snakes and how different species have evolved unique ways to give birth and care for their young. Whether laying eggs or giving live birth, the snake's reproductive process is always an incredible and mysterious sight to witness. Number 20. The porcupine's painful birth. The porcupine's birthing process is one of the most painful and dangerous for the mother. Unlike most rodents, baby porcupines are born covered in soft quills, which are sharp and protective. While this provides some defense for the young, it can be dangerous during birth, especially if the quills are positioned incorrectly. If the baby is facing the wrong direction during birth, the sharp quills can get stuck inside the mother's birth canal, causing her excruciating pain. This painful birth process is a serious risk to the mother and the baby, as the quills can tear through tissue and cause complications. Despite the difficulty of giving birth, porcupines are resilient and the mother must endure the pain to bring her young into the world. Once born, the baby porcupine is fully dependent on its mother for protection and care. The birth process highlights the challenges that come with the porcupine's natural defenses and how nature's design sometimes leads to both protective and painful consequences. Number 19. The colossal kiwi's huge eggs. Imagine carrying a baby that weighs half your body weight. It sounds impossible, right? But for the colossal kiwi, it's perfectly normal. This peculiar bird, with its long legs, sharp beak, and inability to fly, has one of the most remarkable reproductive traits in the animal kingdom. The kiwi lays eggs that are about 25% of its body weight, which is enormous when you consider the size of the bird. A single kiwi egg is roughly the size of 6 chicken eggs, making it one of the largest eggs relative to body size in the bird world. During the egg's development, the kiwi consumes a lot more food than usual to support the growth of such a massive egg. This puts a strain on the bird, leaving it weak and uncomfortable, which is why the kiwi often seeks out cool puddles of water to sit in, relieving some of the discomfort. After laying the egg, it takes at least 80 days for the egg to hatch. When the chick finally emerges, it's like a giant baby being born, a chick the size of a human child. It's a fascinating process. Comparable to a human giving birth to a 7-year-old, the kiwi's reproductive process is a testament to the amazing ways animals adapt to the challenges of reproduction. Number 18. The rare births of horses. Horses are truly majestic creatures, known for their beauty, strength, and intelligence. Like humans, they need to reproduce to ensure the continuation of their species. Typically, horses give birth to a single foal after about 11 months of pregnancy. However, there are rare instances when horses give birth to twins or even triplets, and this brings its own set of risks and challenges. Horses are not built to carry more than one baby at a time. Their bodies are designed to nourish and care for one foal, providing it with the space, nutrients, and attention it needs to grow healthy and strong. When there are twins, the lack of room in the womb makes it harder for both foals to survive. In such cases, veterinarians may perform a procedure called twin reduction, where one of the embryos is carefully removed to give the other a better chance of surviving. Even when both foals survive, it's a rare and astonishing event. Take the story of Destiny, an Irish horse at Gas and Farm Studs in England. Destiny's owner, Tanya McKee, noticed that Destiny was pregnant and provided extra care, but no one could have expected what happened. After giving birth to one foal, Destiny shocked everyone by delivering a second foal just minutes later. Both foals survived, which is an incredible feat in the world of horse births. However, caring for two foals at once can be exhausting for the mother, and triplets are so rare that the chances of all three surviving are extremely slim. So, when you see a pregnant horse with a particularly large belly, there's a chance it's carrying twins or triplets, a rare and risky occurrence in the equine world. Number 17. Velvet spider's sacrifice. The velvet spider's birthing process is one of the most shocking and gruesome examples of maternal sacrifice. After laying her eggs, the mother spider's body begins to break down, with the tissues inside turning to liquid. When the eggs hatch, the spiderlings are too young and fragile to feed themselves. So, in a tragic twist, the mother regurgitates the liquefied remains of her own decaying body, which the spiderlings feed on. This process continues until there is nothing left for them to consume. At that point, the young spiders turn on their mother, consuming every last bit of her until she is nothing more than an empty shell. Once they've finished, the spiderlings scatter and move off to begin their own lives in the wild. This chilling process is a harsh reality of life in the wild, where mothers often sacrifice everything for the survival of their young. The velvet spider's extreme sacrifice highlights the sometimes brutal nature of reproduction in the animal kingdom. Number 16. Hyenas and the pseudopenis. The birth process of spotted hyenas is a grueling and dangerous experience, particularly for the females. Unlike most mammals, female hyenas have what's called a pseudopenis, a false penis that mimics the male's genitalia in structure but doesn't serve the same function. This is a significant challenge when it comes to mating and childbirth. The female must retract her pseudopenis during mating to properly mate with the male, and when it comes time to give birth, the situation becomes even more complicated. The female hyena must deliver her cub through this incredibly narrow opening, which is only about 1 inch wide but 23 inches long. This makes the birthing process extremely painful and dangerous. Sadly, up to 60% of cubs get stuck and suffocate during birth, and more than 15% of the mothers die in the process. Even if both the mother and cub survive, the female's genitalia are often torn, leaving her with lasting pain and discomfort. The aftermath of this brutal process leaves both the mother and her young with scars that last a lifetime. It's an incredibly harsh and tragic way for the species to reproduce. Number 15. Darting snails. Snails are fascinating creatures, and their reproductive habits are as interesting as they are unique. Did you know that snails are hermaphrodites? This means each snail possesses both male and female reproductive organs, which allows them to reproduce more efficiently. There are about 43,000 species of snails, and they live in a wide range of environments, from land to freshwater, and even in saltwater. When snails reproduce, they don't just meet up to mate. They perform a special courtship ritual known as darting. During this dance, snails shoot calcium spikes at each other to stimulate one another. This darting behavior helps ensure that the snails are both ready for fertilization, increasing the chances of healthy eggs. Once the courtship is over, each snail heads off to find a moist spot to lay their eggs, which can range from 30 to 100 eggs per snail. So next time you see a snail, just know it's probably had a more intricate and adventurous love life than you might have imagined. Number 14. Goodbye, Mother Octopus. The octopus has one of the most bizarre and heartbreaking birthing processes in the animal kingdom. During mating season, the male and female meet briefly before going their separate ways. The female then searches for a safe spot to lay her eggs. The gestation period, also known as brooding, can last several weeks, depending on the species. Once the female lays thousands of eggs, she attaches them securely to a den or crevice. From that moment on, she doesn't leave her eggs, even to eat. The process is incredibly taxing on the mother. She focuses entirely on guarding and caring for her eggs, even going so far as to shut down the part of her brain responsible for hunger. As a result, the mother doesn't eat, and over time, this causes her to starve to death while protecting her unborn young. When the eggs hatch, the mother octopus, having sacrificed herself for the next generation, is no longer alive. This tragic cycle highlights the extreme lengths that some animals go to ensure the survival of their offspring. Number 13. Elephants' long pregnancy. Elephants are among the most awe-inspiring creatures on Earth, and their pregnancy process is just as remarkable as their size. As the largest land mammals, elephants have the longest gestation period of any mammal, an impressive 22 months. That's nearly 2 full years. This extended pregnancy is crucial for the development of the calf, which at birth can weigh anywhere from 200 to 250 pounds, about the size of an adult human. Due to the large size of the calf, elephants usually give birth to just one baby, though twins can occur on rare occasions. The birthing process is carefully managed, and the mother typically chooses a secluded spot away from the herd to give birth. This gives her privacy and reduces the risk of predators. Astonishingly, just 20 minutes after birth, the baby elephant is able to stand up, and within 2 days, it's walking alongside the herd. The lengthy gestation period ensures that the baby elephant is strong and ready to keep up with the herd in the dangerous savanna. This adaptation is vital for the survival of the calf, as the herd must constantly move to avoid threats and ensure the safety of all its members. Number 12. Seahorse dads. Seahorses have one of the most unique mating and birthing processes in the animal kingdom. During the mating season, the female seahorse transfers her eggs into a special pouch on the male's abdomen, much like a kangaroo's pouch. This pouch acts as a safe and nurturing environment for the developing eggs. Once the eggs are inside, the male seahorse carries them for about 2 to 3 weeks until they are ready to hatch. Unlike most animals, it's the male seahorse that takes on the responsibility of carrying and protecting the eggs. When the time comes for the eggs to hatch, the male seahorse can give birth to up to 1,000 tiny seahorse babies at once. After this miraculous event, the male can quickly recover and is ready to receive another batch of eggs from the female. This makes him one of the most devoted dads in the animal kingdom, capable of repeating the process again and again. It's an incredible example of how seahorses have evolved to share the responsibilities of reproduction in such a fascinating way. Number 11. Jawfish and their busy mouths. Jawfish are fascinating creatures, especially with their distinctive large jaws. These fish are known for a unique and fascinating birthing process that's a little like the velvet spiders, yet entirely different. After the female jawfish lays her eggs, she steps back and has no further role in their care. It's the male jawfish that takes over, collecting all the eggs with his mouth. This unusual process is called mouth breeding, and as you might imagine, it's quite a mouthful for the father. For over a month, the eggs remain in the male's mouth where he doesn't eat a thing. Instead, he occasionally spits the eggs out, only to gather them back into his mouth to ensure proper oxygenation. This remarkable process mirrors the velvet spiders, where the eggs rely on the father for nutrients, though they don't harm him. When the eggs hatch, the father jawfish releases the newly formed fry into the ocean, ensuring the next generation's survival. It's a fascinating approach to parenting that showcases the unique ways animals ensure the survival of their offspring. Now it's time for the odd topic. In a New Zealand village called Wakapapa, a horse with a severe skin condition shocked everyone. Its swollen belly was covered in strange, dark marks, and vets feared the worst. No one believed it would survive, let alone give birth. But against all odds, it did. A healthy, strong foal was born. Would you have expected life to come from this? Let us know in the comments below with the hashtag #OddTopic. Number 10. The Lion Queen. Lions have long been celebrated for their majestic presence and social behaviors, earning their place as the kings of the jungle. This title isn't just given for their dominance, but also for the way they raise their young. The lioness has a specific gestation period of around 100 days, crucial for the development of her cub. During this time, the lioness becomes less active, focusing on resting and eating to ensure her baby's health. She also seeks out a secluded and safe location, away from the pride, to give birth, providing protection from potential threats such as predators and rival lions. At birth, the cubs are small, blind, and deaf, weighing only 1 or 2 pounds. For the first few weeks, they rely entirely on their mother for warmth, protection, and nourishment. The lioness feeds her cubs with her milk and stays in the hidden den until the cubs are ready to start exploring. As their eyes open, the curious little ones begin to move around, but they stay close to their mother's protective presence. After a few weeks, the cubs start learning how to interact with other lions and eventually begin practicing their hunting skills. This careful process ensures that the cubs grow strong and learn the ways of the pride. Number 9. Giraffe's long gestation. When it comes to animal pregnancies, giraffes have one of the longest gestation periods. While many animals carry their young for 9 or 10 months, giraffes are pregnant for a remarkable 15 months, which is about 470 days. But why does their pregnancy take so long? The reason lies in the calves' development and their need for strength to survive in the dangerous savanna. At birth, a giraffe calf is already huge, typically weighing between 100 and 150 pounds and standing over 6 feet tall. This size and strength are crucial for the calf's survival, as it needs to be able to stand and run shortly after birth to avoid predators. During the birthing process, the mother giraffe stands, as lying down could cause injury to the calf, given its long neck and legs. The birth starts with the first 2 legs coming out, followed by the head and the rest of the body. After birth, giraffe calves grow incredibly fast, increasing by 2.5 centimeters a day during their first week. Within hours of being born, the calf can stand, walk, and even begin to feed. Giraffe calves are born ready to face the wild and adapt to life in the savanna. Their rapid growth and ability to quickly become mobile are vital survival traits in their harsh environment. Number 8. Jacko the alpaca pregnancy journey. Alpacas have a unique pregnancy process that ensures both the mother and her newborn remain safe and healthy. The female alpaca, known as a dam, carries her baby, called a cria, for around 11.5 months, about the same length as a human pregnancy. This long gestation period allows the cria to grow strong and healthy. In the early stages, the cria is small but grows rapidly, requiring the dam to consume more food to meet the nutritional needs of both herself and her developing baby. When the time comes for birth, usually in the morning or afternoon, the dam gives birth while standing, which helps keep the birth area clean and avoids contamination. The birth itself is quick and smooth, and within a few hours, the cria is able to stand and walk, though it may need a little help from its mother at first. The dam carefully cleans the cria and ensures it begins nursing, as this is essential for the baby to receive vital nutrients and antibodies. Alpacas have a well-organized and protective birthing process that helps ensure the cria is ready to thrive in the world, starting with the nourishment it needs immediately after birth. Number 7. The fascinating sloth. Birth. Sloths are some of the slowest creatures on Earth, but their birth process is anything but sluggish. There are 2 main types of sloths, the 2-fingered sloth and the 3-fingered sloth, each with a slightly different reproductive cycle. The 2-fingered sloth carries her baby for about 11.5 months, while the 3-fingered sloth has a much shorter gestation period of only 6 months. When it's time to give birth, the mother usually moves to a lower branch of the canopy and gives birth while hanging upside down. This position ensures that if the baby falls, it won't fall far and risk injury. If the baby does fall, the mother can slowly descend to retrieve it. After the birth, the afterbirth or placenta falls to the forest floor, and the female sloth climbs down to eat it, a common behavior in the wild that likely provides a nutritional boost or helps keep predators away. The baby sloth is born fully developed with open eyes, sharp claws, and teeth, and instinctively clings to its mother's fur. Though fully developed, the baby relies on its mother to learn survival skills in the rainforest. Newborn sloths weigh between 300 to 500 grams, with three-fingered sloths typically being smaller than their two-fingered cousins. These babies are fully dependent on their mothers as they begin their lives in the treetops. Number 6. Crab's protective egg sac. Crabs have a fascinating reproductive process, especially during the rainy season when they begin to mate. The male crab moves toward the coast, and the female looks for a mate. Once mating occurs, the female carries the fertilized eggs under her abdomen in a special area known as the egg sac. The eggs remain protected inside the sac for about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the species and environmental factors. When the eggs are ready to hatch, the female releases them into the water at just the right moment, often when the tide is right. The eggs hatch into tiny larvae called zoae, which are transparent and differ greatly in appearance from adult crabs. These larvae float with the currents and go through several developmental stages, eventually changing into megalopi. As megalopi, they resemble small crabs but aren't fully grown. They settle on the seafloor and continue growing through a series of molts, shedding their exoskeletons and growing larger until they become adult crabs. It's a long and complex metamorphosis, demonstrating just how unique and adaptable crabs are. Number 5. The backup baby. In the world of animal reproduction, the quokka has one of the most intriguing strategies. During its 28-day gestation, the quokka carries not one but 2 developing babies. The first one, called Joey, is born as usual, but the second baby remains in the mother's womb as a backup. If anything happens to Joey, the backup baby is already fully developed and ready to be born.
I think the baby's a little bit big for the pouch.
Joey, however, can't survive on its own just yet. It remains in its mother's pouch for up to 6 months, feeding and growing. Even after this, the young quokka stays dependent on its mother for another month before it's ready to face the world. This strategy helps ensure that the quokka can continue its lineage, even if something goes wrong with the firstborn. Number 4. Overly protective mother alligator. Despite their fierce reputation, alligators are incredibly devoted mothers. When a female alligator is ready to lay her eggs, she moves to a safe spot on land near the water, where she digs a hole, lays her eggs, and covers them up. Afterward, she doesn't stray too far. For about 3 months, she keeps a constant watch over her nest. But how does she know when the eggs are ready to hatch? The baby alligators make a chirping sound that signals their mother. As soon as she hears this, she rushes to scoop the hatchlings up gently in her mouth, protecting them from predators. She then takes them to the water, where they're safe. This behavior highlights the alligator's protective instincts, as the newborns are fragile and vulnerable to being eaten by other animals. Number 3. Frogs' vocal sacs. Most frogs follow a predictable birth process. They lay their eggs in the water, and the eggs hatch into tadpoles that develop into adult frogs. But Darwin frogs take an unusual approach. When a female lays her eggs, the male swallows them, not to eat them, but to protect them. He places the eggs in his vocal sac, which serves as a safe place for the eggs to develop, protecting them from predators. For 8 weeks, the male starves while the eggs undergo their transformation. Once the eggs hatch inside his vocal sac, the male frog spits out fully formed froglets ready to face the world. This method not only protects the eggs, but also ensures that all the eggs are fertilized. It's a fascinating and unique way for these frogs to ensure the survival of their offspring. Number 2. Kangaroo pouch. Kangaroos have one of the most unique and fascinating birth processes in the animal kingdom. Unlike many mammals, their gestation period is very short, lasting only around 30 to 36 days. When a baby kangaroo, or joey, is born, it's in an incredibly undeveloped state. The joey is tiny, barely the size of a pink, hairless bean, and weighs less than a gram. Unlike some animals that carry their babies in their mouths or on their backs, the mother kangaroo doesn't immediately pick the joey up. Instead, the joey instinctively crawls into the mother's pouch for safety and warmth. The pouch is lined with special tissue that helps the joey latch onto one of the mother's teats, where it continues to develop and grow. Inside the pouch, the joey feeds on milk and gradually starts to mature, growing fur and taking on more kangaroo-like features. As the joey grows stronger, it starts spending more time outside the pouch, but always returns to it for safety. By the time the joey is between 8 months and a year old, it's ready to leave the pouch and start living independently, although it may still return for comfort and security. Number 1. Sneaky raccoons. Raccoons are a true testament to intelligence and adaptability in the animal world. These medium-sized mammals are easily spotted by their signature black fur markings around their eyes and their distinctive bushy tails with rings. As omnivores, raccoons have a varied diet, eating everything from fruits and insects to small animals. And in urban areas, they're known to rummage through trash cans or scavenge food from human habitats. They are famous for their dexterous front paws, which they use like hands, skillfully grabbing and manipulating objects they come across. When it comes to reproduction, female raccoons give birth once a year, usually in the spring, after a gestation period of about 63 days. Once born, the babies, known as kits, are helpless, blind, and dependent on their mother for survival. The mother takes them to a safe den, which could be in hollow trees, abandoned burrows, or even attics. In about 3 weeks, the kits begin to open their eyes and start exploring. By the time they're around 12 weeks old, they're learning how to forage for food, though they typically stay close to their mother for a bit longer, gaining the skills they need to survive on their own. What's the most amazing birth in nature that you know of? Let us know in the comments below. See you next time!